Welcome to Kaalagathi. My name is Ravi Sankar. Mercury enters Scorpio. Secrets, power, intuition. Have you ever noticed that sometimes your mind goes deep, like you are talking to someone, and suddenly you feel what they are not saying? You sense the truth behind the words, the hidden tension in their smile, almost like you have developed emotional X-ray vision. Yeah, that's not random. That's Mercury entering Scorpio. This is the cosmic session where logic goes undercover, where the words stop being just words and start carrying secrets, gossips. It's when your curiosity becomes a detective and your thoughts, they are not just thoughts anymore. They are keys unlocking things you were never supposed to see. Let me tell you, this one not the lightest transit because Mercury is not just moving through Scorpio, it's going to retrograde, combust, everything is happening. It's disappearing in invisibility. Before it rises again with revelations that can shake your perception of truth itself. So, if lately your mind feels restless, suspicious, and strangely intuitive, if you are questioning people, motives, or even your own instincts, you are not losing it. You are just turning into Scorpio's frequency. In this video, I am going to show you exactly what happens when Mercury, the planet of logic, speech, and reasoning, dives into the deepest waters of emotion and mystery. We will decode how it messes with your mind, transform your communication, and even brings back unfinished karma conversations from your past. By the end, you won't just understand this transit, you will know how to use it because this is not about fear, it's about awakening. And if you stay till the end, I promise you will never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Mercury enters Scorpio, the secrets, power, intuition. Imagine this. You are standing in a dark room. You can't see much, but your senses, they are on fire. Every sound, every vibration, every flicker of the moment, you feel it. That's what happens when Mercury enters Scorpio. The planet of logic, analysis, and speech, Mercury, suddenly walks into Scorpio's mysterious den, where nothing is on the surface and everything hides beneath the layers of emotion, secrets, and power. See, Mercury is like that friend who loves clear facts. It asks spreadsheets, logic, precision, communication, PowerPoints that make sense, everything. But Scorpio says, forget senses. Let's talk about truth. The one you can't say out loud. The one you can't say out loud. So when these two energies meet, your mind becomes intense. You don't just listen anymore. You start reading between the lines. Every conversation feels loaded emotionally. Every message feels coded. And you suddenly know when someone lying even before finish the sentences. But it's not just about others. This transit also turns the detective lens inward. You start analyzing your own motives. Why did I react like that? Why do I still feel angry about that old memory? Why I am drawn to the things scare me? Because Scorpio is a psychologist of the zodiac. It does not do small talk. It goes for a soul talk. And when Mercury, the planet of thinking, enters this sign, it forces us to explore the mental shadows. You will notice people will talk less but say more. Silences will become meaningful. Dreams will turn symbolic. Even every intuition will feel sharper, almost psychic. Let me give you a relatable image. Think of this like your phone going into a dark mode. It's still your phone, but everything feels different. Deeper, more focused, slightly mysterious. That's what Mercury in Scorpio does to your mind. Now here, where it gets interesting, this is not just any visit. Mercury will also go retrograde in Scorpio between November 10th and November 29th, 2025, which means your thoughts will rewind. Conversations from the past may reappear. Old messages, forgotten truths, buried emotions, they will all come back for the closure. So, if you suddenly get a call from the someone you have not spoken to in years, or finding yourself revisiting a decision that once hurt, don't be surprised. That's Mercury pulling you back to the scene of the crime. But this time, to find what you missed the first time. And that's why this transit feels so powerful and sometimes uncomfortable. It's like emotional surgery. Mercury scalpel cuts through confusion and shows you the truth, raw, unfiltered, and healing. So as we move forward in this video, remember this image. Mercury is walking through Scorpion's dark room holding lantern. Every secret it exposes is not meant to scare you. It's meant to set you free. When Mercury enters Scorpio, the skies whisper what you think you will feel, and what you feel you finally speak. Mercury is the cosmic messenger. It's the planet of logic, speech, communication, and analysis. It's how you think, you learn, how you connect with the dots between what happening in your head and what comes out your mouth. When Mercury moves through zodiac, it changes the style of your thinking, like changing the background music of your orchestra. Normally, Mercury prefers clarity. It loves the spreadsheets, lists, and rational conclusions. But now, from October 24 to December 20, Mercury dives into Scorpio, the most secretive, emotional, transformational sign of the zodiac. Imagine this: a scientist walks into an ancient temple, a detective steps into a dream. That's a Mercury entering Scorpio. Logic meeting the unseen, curiosity meeting the forbidden. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Ketu, planets that dig, cut, reveal what's hidden beneath the surface. It represents mystery, rebirth, depth, and emotional truth. So when the planet of communication moves through this sign, the conversations we have, both with others, with ourselves, become intense. Words carry hidden motives. Silence becomes louder than speech, and the mind starts to carve the truth, not comfort. You may notice yourself thinking more deeply than usual. A simple text might suddenly feel loaded with meaning. Dreams may become vivid, symbolic, almost prophetic, and you will find yourself reading energy more than words. This transit is like an emotional MRI scan. It reveals the thought you have buried under logic. This is not always comfortable, but it always clarifies. You might catch yourself overanalyzing or even feeling obsessed with understanding why something happened. That's Scorpio influence. It does not stop at the surface. It's want to go to the root cause. During this phase, communication is not casual. It's a cathartic. What you say now can feel, and it can wound. What you write can uncover your own truth, and what you hide will eventually find a way out. Energetically, this is one of the most powerful Mercury transits of the year because it does not just change how you think, it changes the why you think the way you do. From October 24 to December 20, 2025, accept, accept mental transformation. Conversations will feel deeper, thoughts will carry emotion, decisions will need intuition, not logic alone. And silence at times will become the most honest form of communication. This is not your average Mercury session. This is the mind's descent into the underworld, not to get lost, but to find what was hidden. Because when Mercury travels through Scorpio, truth does not knock politely. It rises from the depths and demand to be heard. Mercury transits through Scorpio nakshatras, Vishakha. So Vishakha nakshatra, Mercury is transiting from October 16 to 21, November 21. As Mercury begins its journey through Vishakha nakshatra from Libra to Scorpio, the cosmic air thickens with the choices and confusion. Vishakha means two choices. Okay, always it will bring two choices. Yeah? And which one you need to choose is becoming confusion. This is the realm of a forked branch, Vishakha, where two paths stretch out in opposite direction and the mind stands frozen at the crossroads. Vishakha is the nakshatra of counselors, advisors, guides, the one who speak wisely yet wrestle with inner duality. It's a symbol, a forked branch. Tells the story perfectly. Two roads diverging, two voices whispering, two versions of truth trying to coexist. It's a diplomacy meeting doubt, certainly meeting hesitation. Now imagine Mercury, the planet of communication and calculation and logic, entering this field of duality. Mercury wants quick answers, clean data, neat solutions. But Vishaka offers none. Here, every fact has a feeling attached. Every yes comes with a hidden maybe. So during this phase, October 16 to October 27 and November 23 to December 10, you might find the thoughts splitting into two directions. You will start typing message and you will delete it. You want to make a decision, then second guess. Your logical mind and emotional mind might be arguing like two lawyers in the court. Why? Because Vishaka is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, yet a part of Scorpio, the sign of secrecy and transformation. That means beneath the outer confusion, something deeper is happening. Your intellect being trying to see beyond surface clarity. This is where Mercury learns that logic alone cannot solve emotional mysteries. So Mercury, the quick thinker, the talker, the learner, it governs speech, siblings, curiosity, and ability to decide fast. Vishaka, on the other hand, the counselor, the diplomat, but also one torn between two directions. It's the energy of split focus, partition, and reorientation. And Scorpio, the natural eighth sign, representing depth, secrecy, sudden events, research, transformation. It's where the life flips upside down to reveal the truth. And when these energies merge, the mind becomes analytical yet uncertain, brilliant yet restless. It's like a holding flashlight in a maze. You can see few turns ahead, but not the full path. If your chart has Mercury connected to relationships or partnerships, this period might bring communication gaps or temporarily emotional distance. Vishaka split energy reflecting in how you speak or connect. For others, especially researchers, strategists, writers, this is the fertile time. Mercury here behaves like an occult counselor, diving into mysteries, uncovering hidden data, decoding human motives. If you have been working on something that needs a deep focus, like a study, design, investigation, you will notice a sudden surge in mental stamina. But the challenge lies in decision making. The mind may want to analyze every branch of the tree before picking a fruit. And that leads to the psychologists called decision paralysis. When analytical brain exhausts itself with too many options. So if you feel stuck, don't panic. That's Vishaka teaching you patience. The lesson of this phase is simple but profound. Direction matters more than speed. Don't rush to conclusions. Don't overcommit your words. Mercury in Vishaka asks you to think like a guide, not a gambler. Choose consciously. And remember, Scorpio's influence adds emotional magnetism to every word you speak. Every silence becomes pursue. Even curiosity feels dangerous. So use the energy wisely. Channel it into research, learning, introspection. Because in Vishaka, Mercury is not trying to make you choose between two paths. It's teaching you how to see both and still find your own. The mind is at a crossroads now. But sometimes clarity is not found by choosing the road. It's found by standing still long enough to hear your inner compass speak. Next comes Mercury transiting in Anuradha. It's October 27 to October 21, November 21, October 27 to November 21. And in Anuradha, Mercury gets retrograde and Mercury getting a combust also. As Mercury leaves the crossroads of Vishakha and steps into Anuradha Nakshatra, the story of mind takes a new turn. If Vishakha is about which path to take, Anuradha is about why you are walking at all. This is the nakshatra of devotion, friendship, emotional bonding, ruled by Mitra, the god of alliances and loyalty. Here, logic softens. The heart begins to whisper louder than the brain. It's about following your desires with commitment. Whether that's toward a person, a passion, or a purpose. And into emotional ocean walks Mercury, the messenger of intellect and communication. From October 27 to November 21, Mercury swims through Anuradha not alone, but with a fiery companion, Mars. Mars joins Mercury on October 27, igniting its calm reasoning with raw emotion, courage, sometimes conflict. So imagine the scene. Mercury, the calm negotiator, trying to reason logically, while Mars stands beside it, sword in hand, saying, "Enough talk, let's act." This pairing can bring brilliant insights or heated words, depending on how you channel it. Mercury in Anuradha, the following the heart's desire. Anuradha is about a devotion, being loyal to what or whom you love. Mercury here, through though in the enemy sign of Scorpio, sits in the friendly nakshatra ruled by Saturn. But as you know, Saturn is no ordinary friend. It tests loyalty through endurance. So this Mercury placement does not offer easy communication. It demands emotional maturity. Both Mercury and Anuradha shares a link with desire. Mercury represents your interests, skills, curiosity, while Anuradha represents the following call of your heart. Together, they create a phase where you are driven to pursue what truly fascinates you, whether that's learning, business, art, or even occult sciences. Scorpio adds its own depth to this one. It's water or mysterious, emotional, and magnetic, pulling Mercury logic into unseen layers of psyche. That's why many people under this transit may suddenly find themselves drawn to astrology, psychology, spirituality, or researching something. Mercury here becomes emotional analyst. So, not just talking, but decoding every tone, silence, and body language cue. Mercury getting retrograde from November 10th to November 29th. The mirror of miscommunication will happen. Now comes the twist in the tail. Mercury turns retrograde. Right in the heart of Anuradha. Retrograde motion is never a punishment, it's a reflection. It makes the mind rewind its words, rethink its tone, and revisit the past. During this period, your thoughts may loop. You might replay old conversations, reread old messages, or even reconnect with people from your past. It's the universe saying, "Do you really understand what you said and what was left unsaid?" This is the cosmic edit phase where Mercury becomes a proofreader of your life. And if you have ever sent a message too fast, misunderstood a friend, or reacted instead of reflecting, this transit helps you see why. Astrologically, retrograde Mercury in Scorpio can feel like a mind walking through fog with a lantern. You can't rush clarity, you must wait for it to emerge. So take this time to reevaluate, not react. Combust Mercury. So now retrograde, again it is combusting also. November 15th to 26th, when ego burns communication. Adding another layer of intensity, Mercury becomes combust too close to Sun between November 15 and November 26. When a planet is combust, its energy becomes overshadowed by ego, pride, and or authority. So during these days, ego clashes, misunderstandings can fly, especially in relationships or workplaces. One may speak to prove a point rather than to connect. And that's where Anuradha lessons comes in. Connections connection is not built by winning arguments, but understanding the emotion. If you feel that others don't understand you, pause before reacting. The sun heat burns through mercury filters. So that's the hidden emotions rise to the surface. Don't fight it. Observe it. That discomfort is communication being purified by the truth. Mars Mercury conjunction. With Mars accompanying Mercury, speech can turn sharp and direct. It's a great for debaters, writing bold ideas, asserting your truth, but it can also create impulsive communication. Mars fuels courage, Mercury adds wit, but together they need a conscious handling. In astrology, Mars gives a drive while Mercury gives word. So this period can make you say what others only think or act before thinking at all. Use this fire to speak passionately, not destructively. Channel it not into a creativity, a research, or expression, but not arguments. If Mercury in Vishakha made you doubt decisions, Mercury in Anuradha teaches you to feel them. Your intellect begins learning the language of heart. But remember, in Scorpio, Mercury does not talk for small talk's sake. It speaks with a purpose, devotion, and intensity. So every word not now carries karmic weight. If Mercury governs your relationship, this can be a testing phase. Misunderstanding, possessiveness, and control issues may surface. If it governs your business or creativity, you feel a magnetic pull to reinvent or refine your craft. In either case, the key is same. Follow what you love, but stay mindful on how you express it. Because in Anuradha, Mercury's logic no longer leads heart, it's a service it. When Mercury walks through Anuradha, every word becomes a prayer, every silence becomes a truth waiting to be felt. And if you listen carefully, you will realize your heart was the truest counselor all along. Then Mercury moves into the giant star Jyeshtha from November 21 to December 6, 2025. Mercury becomes direct, Scorpio final trine. As Mercury steps into Jyeshtha, the cosmic scene feels charged, heavier, older, wiser. The charter of Vishakha diplomacy and emotional confusion of Anuradha devotion now melt into something deeper, something darker. This is Jyeshtha, the eldest sibling among the stars, a place of authority, moral weight, and secrets that demand a responsibility. This nakshatra is ruled by Indra, the king of gods, powerful, commanding, yet often caught in the own storms of pride and insecurity. That's the flavor of Jyeshtha, brilliance shadowed by a burden of superiority. The word Jyeshtha itself tells eldest, but in the zodiac it translates as those who know more and must prove it. And then enters Mercury, the planet of wit, speech, intellect, quick exchange, into the intense and private realm of Scorpio under watch of Mars and Ketu. It's like sending a clever diplomat into secret intelligence agency. You get a brilliance, but also paranoia. Mercury in Jyeshtha, the occult mind awakens. When Mercury, the messenger of gods, passes through Jyeshtha, words gain weight. Communication stops being about small talk. It becomes about a strategy, depth, and sometimes a deception. Jyeshtha is nakshatra most aligned with occult wisdom, astrology, psychology, and hidden sciences. Combine that with Mercury, analytical curiosity, and you get a mind that must explore what lies beneath the surface. Whether it's unseen forces of the cosmos or the hidden motives of the people. In the Scorpio domain, the Jyeshtha is the nakshatra most aligned with the occultism. In Scorpio domain, Mercury becomes a detective, decoding emotional truths, reading between lines, tracing patterns of karma. This is the researcher's transit, excellent for those who deal data, patterns, investigation, metaphysical study. Yet, this brilliance comes with the shadow of Scorpio, does not allow half truths. It pushes Mercury to go all in or self destruct in overthinking. The intellect can become obsessive here, thoughts looping endlessly until they press through illusion or spiral into paranoia. Just a knife edge nature. Just a carries the symbol of an earring, representing both protection and status. But beneath that sheen lies a warning. This is the star of backbiting, power play, psychological warfare. This means that during this period, words can cut. Mercury here becomes a sharp blade, one that can heal through truth or wound through manipulation. If misused, Mercury in Jyeshtha can create a verbal battles, ego-driven debates, or a tendency to control narratives. Especially in Scorpio, the secretive energy. But if harnessed with maturity, it becomes the mark of wise occultist, strategist, investigator, someone who uses intellect not to dominate but to understand unseen structure of the life. Just as ruled by Mercury's enemy, Indra archetype, power with the moral tension. Here, the intellect tests integrity. Mercury in this zone asks, now that you know more, will you use it to evaluate or to control? This is the moral exam of Jyeshtha, whether one's intelligence serves wisdom or ego. Because this nakshatra is a Gandamul. Sitting on the cusp of elemental change, it also brings instability, especially in relationships and communication. For those Mercury rules relationship houses, this phrase can surface trust issues, manipulation, or emotional withdrawal. It's not a betrayal that hurts most here. It's a feeling of being underestimated or unseen. The blessing, mastery through intensity. When navigated consciously, Mercury in Jyeshtha becomes a sage within the storm, one who channels Scorpio chavos into insight and mastery. It's a time when learning turns scarred, communication turns surgical, and intelligence become a tool for truth revolution rather than competition. This is where Mercury graduates from the curiosity to wisdom, from information to illumination. So, as Mercury walks through Jyeshtha, the cosmos invites to speak only what you truly mean. Listen between the silence and honor the power of your own perception. Because every word you utter under the sky has a power to either cut karma or create it. The psychology, when logic meets intuition. So Mercury in Scorpio. There are moments in astrology when planets transit does not just change events, it changes. Mercury journey through Scorpio is one such moment. It's not about outer noise of communication, business, or travel. It's all about what happens inside. When logic meets intuition, when mind meets mystery, when reason learns to listen to the soul. The tug of the two worlds, Mercury, the planet of logic, analysis, and facts, entering Scorpio, the sign of instinct, emotion, and unseen. It's like watching a scientist walk into a temple. The instruments of reason begin to tremble under the weight of something immeasurable. Scorpio does not deal in data, it deals in depth. It does not ask what's true, but what's the real. That's a far more dangerous question. Here, the mind is not content with the surface answer. It wants to know why things happen, what lies beneath the words, behind the smiles, under motives. This is the psychology of this transit. Your rational mind will begin to collide with your intuitive knowing. You will start to feel the truth before you can explain it. You will sense people energy, hear unspoken things in their tone, see the patterns of coincidence. And it will confuse Mercury because the messenger of gods prefer clear sentences, not psychic whispers. The transformation within the mind. Under Scorpio influence, Mercury stops being a journalist and becomes a detective. It does not just report facts, it investigates motives. You will notice your thoughts become sharper, your analysis more penetrating, your curiosity more psychological than practical. But here's the catch. Scorpio does not offer safety, it offers transformation. So, as Mercury dives into these depths, your mind might feel torn between wanting control and wanting surrender. That's where alchemy begins, because when control breaks, insight is born. You begin to see patterns of self sabotage, suppressed fears, unconscious drives. The shadow of your own psyche start whispering back, asking you to listen, not to judge. That's when logic finally bows before intuition, not in defeat, but in the realization that both are the two languages of same truth. When Mercury becomes a mystic in this space, conversations become more psychic than verbal. You might speak less, understand more. Dreams may feel more vivid. Coincidences may feel intentional. Emotional undercurrents in relationships may become crystal clear. This is Mercury mystical awakening. When intellect stops being a shield and becomes a mirror, and through that mirror, the mind sees what the soul has always known. If Vishakha taught you diplomacy, Anuradha taught you devotion, Jyeshtha now teaches you discriminate, the ability to merge the reason with the revelation. It's not about choosing between logic and intuition anymore. It's about realizing that true intelligence is born only when both dance together. The final lesson is trust the inner voice. During this time, you might catch yourself analyzing a feeling of death, trying to rationalize intuition. That's a Mercury defense mechanism, but Scorpio wants you to feel it through, not think it away. The mind wants proof, the soul gives signs. And the real mystery of this transit lies in learning to trust those signs. So when something feels off, pass. When something feels right, don't overthink it. When silence feels louder than words, listen. Because during Mercury passage through Scorpio, your intuition becomes your data and your logic becomes the tool that decodes it. This is a rare phase where intellect learns humility, where knowing becomes feeling, and where words become whispers of wisdom. It's not the end of the Mercury journey, it's the rebirth of your own mind. When Mercury moves through Scorpio, here is the spiritual remedies and practical tips. How to flow with the cosmic current, not to fight it. The sign of secret shadows, soul level transformation. It's like watching a mirror melt into water. Everything logical begins to blur, everything buried begins to rise. This is not a time to control, it's time to align. And the best way to align through is awareness, purification, and conscious communication. The three keys to survive and thrive under this trance. Below are the spiritual remedies, practical actions designed to harmonize your mind, calm your energy, make the most Mercury's deep drive in the Scorpio realm. Cleanse the mind, the Mercury way. Mercury rules nervous system communication. So this transit can feel like a mental static, overthinking, replaying past words, or analyzing hidden meanings. Start your mornings with breathing, deep breathing, pranayama, especially Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nostril breath. It balances left logic, right intuition, brain hemispheres. It's very battle Mercury faces in Scorpio. Chant Buddha Bija mantra 108 times. Om Bram Brim Brom Saha Buddhaya Namaha. This calms Mercury anxiousness, analytical energy, and helps thoughts flow clearly rather than chaotically. Embrace elemental purification. Scorpio's water and fire. Scorpio belongs to water element, but ruled by Mars, fire. A paradox of intensity and purification. Spend time near natural waters, rivers, lakes, or even shower while visualizing all confusion and negativity washing away. Speak less, listen more. When Mercury is in Scorpio, especially during retrograde and combust phases, words gain karma. What you say now echoes louder than usual. Practice mauna, conscious silence, for at least 30 minutes a day. Observe your thoughts without reacting. If you must speak, choose your words like a healer, not a debater. When emotions surge, write them instead of saying them. Mercury loves journaling, Scorpio loves privacy. Strengthen the intuitive channel. Scorpio awakens intuition, but only in the mind that's still. Meditate on Anjana Chakra, third eye. Visualize a deep indigo light between your brows, expanding every breath. Keep a clear quartz or emerald crystal near your workplace. Emerald is Mercury's gemstone, while quartz amplifies clarity and intuition. Before sleep, ask your subconscious for insight rather than control. Show me what I need to know. Then note any dreams or signs that follow. Heal communication and relationship. During this transit, relationship become emotional minefields. Words misheard, texts misread, intentions doubted. These all will happen. Do not rush into clarifications or comfortations. Scorpio energy reveals truth with the time. Whenever conflict arises, ask yourself, am I reacting from the logic or from fear? Let my word carry peace, not pride. Offer green gram, moong dal, or green leafy vegetables. Mercury is symbolic act of giving clarity to the sky. Ground yourself through routine. Mercury and Scorpio can make your mind drift into emotional whirlpools. Maintain simple, structured routine. Same sleep time, same meal time. Routine is Mercury medicine. Eat green colored foods like spinach, green apples, mint on Wednesday. They vibrate with Mercury wavelength. Avoid excessive caffeine and screen time. More stimulation weakens Mercury nervous clarity. Serve, study, and surrender. When the mind grows too complex, the simplest acts rely on it. Do small acts of service without expectation. Scorpio transform through selfless depth. Study something metaphysical, astrology, psychology, mythology, anything that allows Mercury to analyze the unseen in a structured way. Finally, surrender outcome. The Scorpio lesson is to transform through trust. The ultimate alignment practice. Every day during this transit, spend 5 minutes in silence. Repeat inwardly. I allow the truth to unfold through me. My mind is clear. My heart is open. I trust the flow of transformation. When Mercury moves through Scorpio, life asks you to speak more but see deeper. The real remedy is not outside. It's the courage to let your mind dissolve into wisdom, your logic bow to intuition, and your thoughts align with the rhythm of your soul. When Mercury finally rises from the depths of Scorpio on December 20, it does not simply leave, it rebirths. But began as confusion, secrecy, mental chaos, now transform into quiet crystalline clarity. You have been through the underworld of your own mind and returned with wisdom. Let's pause here and breathe, because what just unfolded between October and December was not an ordinary cosmic event. It is a psychological pilgrimage. So, this is all about Mercury transit into Scorpio. When Mercury dives into Scorpio, the mind becomes a mirror to the soul. It reveals what logic hides, the intuition already knows. So the next time you find yourself questioning, doubting, overthinking, pause, because sometimes silence answers louder than speech. So Mercury, god of communication, intelligence, going through Scorpio, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsari, Arshat Vargas. So your speech, your communication, your intelligence may go through these Arshat Vargas. I am Ravi Sankar Tekuru, and this was your deep dive into Mercury in Scorpio, the detective of the soul. If the journey spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more cosmic insights from Kaalagathi Astrology. Until next time, keep your mind sharp, your intuition open, your words sacred. So, signing off. Thank you for this week. We will come up with the next video and the next week. Until then, thank you. Bye.